everyone, welcome to another video. So another day and another problem with the VR4. So the VR4 is experiencing some overheating at low RPMs. So what I'm gonna do is first show you what the problem is, describe it, and then I think that is there's a probable cause for it, and I think I know what it is. We'll try that fix and see if that helps. So what happens is, like, when I start the car and it comes up to the optimum temperature, which is below 1 mark, below halfway, that's where my 95 stabilizes. And this 92, what happens is, like, it keeps going up. It basically doesn't, okay, let me put it this way. The coolant is not circulating when it should. And what I have to do is, like, when it starts to overheat, that means it goes past the halfway mark, I need to push the RPMs to like 4000 for once or twice, and suddenly the thermostat will open, and the coolant will start circulating, and the temperature will come down immediately. But I have a feeling the thermostat is not opening all the way, because it will stay at that temperature for some time, and then slowly it will start climbing again, and it stabilizes at 2 marks below H, which is the hottest point. So, and it doesn't go all the way to the hot, it stabilizes 2 points below H. So I'm guessing the thermostat has gone bad, the spring has gone bad, it doesn't open. It needs a lot of high temperature and pressure to open, and even when it opens, it's not opening entirely. The fluid circulation is kind of hampered, and because of which I think this is all is happening. So I'm going to do this and show you what I mean, and then probably I think if we change the thermostat, I believe we should be okay, but I'm not 100% sure. I did see a few examples in the web, but no one confirmed this was the solution, but we will try. So let me get started and let's fire the car. Let me disconnect the battery first. All right. Okay, so we'll let it run until it comes to the optimal temperature. We'll stop the video now, and we'll start recording when we rev up the engine to open up the thermostat. See you in a bit. Alright people, it's been almost 5 minutes and the upper radiator hose has become hot. I can feel it, but the lower one, that's the one, touch, this one, it's not hot yet. It's still closed, and this is getting hot, really hot. The fans haven't come on, obviously, because it's not kicked in yet. And this hose, this one, is still cold, no circulation yet. And this is nice and warm. The hot coolant is in this one, but this one is completely cold. And this is where the temperature is right now. Usually on my 95, this is where the temperature stays. It doesn't go beyond this. No matter how fast I drive, how hard I'm pushing, it doesn't go anywhere else. It stays here, and that car has no overheating issues. I've not seen it in the last 10 years. So in order to, maybe I'll let the temperature go up a little bit more, and then I'm gonna give some gas and rev up the engine, and I'll show you how the temperature drops. But for now, I'll let it run a little bit more. Alright, so as you can see, the temperature is slowly going up. It'll go up more, but I think I can show you the problem right away. So I'm gonna rev it up a little bit, and that should come down. can see how it came down. That means the thermostat opened, and this is the optimum space where it should stand. And let's go and check. Yes, I can feel the warm liquid is flowing through. It's not hot all the way, but I can tell the thermostat open. So that's what my problem is. Now what's gonna happen next is this lower pipe is going to be as hot as this one, and the radiator fan will kick in and it'll turn on and off, but the temperature still wouldn't stay where it is right now. That's probably because the thermostat is not opening all the way, and that's what my guess is. So I'm going to show you the rest of the problem in a few minutes. Well, as you can see, the temperature has gone up, and it'll go up a little bit more and will stop and stabilize at 2 marks below the full temperature. And I'm guessing that's happening. It's actually coming down right now. I don't hear the radiator fan coming up. Let me go and check. Oh, it just turned on. You can hear the sound of the radiator fan. And kicked in, but it didn't kick in until I gave some rev to the engine. So I believe it's got something to do with the flow of coolant, and it's not flowing properly to trigger all these sensors and kick in the radiator fan soon enough. So I think right now the temperature should be good. Yeah, it's still high. Well, that's the problem that I'm thinking is the thermostat isn't opening up entirely, which is why it's trying to cool down the system, but it's not being very effective at this point. And yes, I did bleed the system, so the radiator fan kicked in again. But it's not enough because the coolant flow is obstructed. That's what I think. I did bleed the system multiple times. I'm not burning coolant. The coolant levels are good. And so that's what the problem is. Alright, so we'll let the car cool down, and what we're gonna do is change the thermostat and see if that makes any difference. Alright, see you in a bit. Alright, so here's the brand new thermostat. It's an OEM one, I guess. Okay, and I'll start removing the filter, the MAF sensor, the swipe pipe, and these two air hoses. And yeah, I'll start dismantling this part so that I can access the thermostat. So let's get going and see you in a bit. Alright folks, here's some progress. I disconnected these two hoses from the Y pipe, and I don't think I need to remove this. I just loosened this one, and there's a nipple here through which a vacuum line is connected. I don't have to remove that. I didn't want to remove it, so I just, lifted it up a little bit. I also had to disconnect this hose that connects here so that it can go up, and I can already see the thermostat housing here. I just need to get this piece out of it and I should be good. So removing the filter cover was a bit tricky. There are 4 screws here embedded in the box. They go through here, and these were the 4 nuts that I had to remove. And then make sure all the clips at the back, this one, are open, and these 2 are also open. And then you can yank it out, just lift and pull out. So lift and pull out, or pull and lift it out, it'll come out. And air filter is pretty clean. And when I remove it, I think I can see those 3 bolts. Once I remove these, I think this thing should come out. Or maybe I don't have to. I can just pull the MAF sensor out, and I don't have to take the base of the air filter box out. And then this will come out. Oh, I might be actually able to do the job with this much of space. No, I think I need to get the centerpiece out. I'll loosen up this one and remove just the centerpiece. That should give me enough space to open up the housing and replace the thermostat. So let me try and get that done. All right, see you in a bit. All right, some more progress. I think now I have enough clearance to work. I can see the thermostat, those 3, third one is there, right there, 3 bolts. And I didn't remove everything entirely. I think just disconnecting this hose was good enough for me. It's enough room for me to wiggle these things and remove the thermostat. So I think I should be okay. So next I'm gonna put a towel under the car for it to soak up any coolant that falls. And yeah, let's get going. Let's remove those 3 bolts and see what's happening inside. And I hope the new thermostat that I have, which hopefully is OEM, I believe, it fits. Okay, and let's test it. All right, I have loosened all the 3 bolts. I'm going to remove the bottom one first, so that if there's some pressure inside, I've already released the pressure by opening this one, but if still there's some pressure built up inside, which I hope should not be, it's gonna drip down. I've already put my pan under it and a big rod to catch anything that falls and doesn't become a mess. So I'm gonna remove all the 3 bolts and pull out the thermostat, and let's see how it looks. Hopefully that's the problem. I so hope. All right, at this point, safety first. I'm wearing my glasses. Well, while looking at it, it looks like the thermostat housing has never been opened before. See, I removed all the 3 bolts. Still, it's sitting so tight, I cannot tell you. Is there another one at the bottom? Oh, looks like there's one more here. I think that is one more, right? Let me feel it. Yes, there's one more here. Okay, let me remove that, and then I think hopefully this thing should come apart. So here's the thermostat, guys, and it's completely jammed. It won't come out. I am pretty sure this thermostat is bad. I can see it's completely jammed. It wouldn't come out even if I tried to yank it out with the pliers. But let me see how I can pull it out of there, and then we'll see the condition and compare it with the new one. All right, so this is the one that was in the car, and this is the new one. It slightly looks different if you see the top portion, but I don't know, maybe it's okay, or I don't know if it's not okay. I'm not very sure. But one thing I can see here, the spring is very soft. I can go like this so easily. And here the spring is quite hard. I cannot even go down with 2 fingers. So that might be the problem, why the opening was not enough and it was obstructing the flow of coolant, and which is why I needed really hot temperatures for this thing to open up. See, with 2 fingers I can barely go down, but here with 2 fingers, look at the softness of the spring. So I'm so glad I found this difference, because if this spring would have worked perfectly like this one, That means the problem is still out there and we do not know what's causing it. But looks like uh, this is what the problem is. The spring has become too hard, it's too old, and it was not opening all the way. It needed extremely high temperature to open a very little amount, and which is why it didn't work, and that explains why we were not getting any coolant flow at low RPMs. But when I hit 4000 RPM for like a second or two, a couple of times, and suddenly it opens up, and then again, since it was not opening all the way, the opening was very small, maybe like this much, which was not enough to maintain the temperature, which is why we were seeing even after the thermostat opened, the temperature continued to climb, and it'll stabilize at a much higher temperature and not at 76.5. So this thermostat is rated as 76.5 degrees Celsius. So is this one. So all right, I don't know, it's okay. The top portion looks slightly different, the way it's manufactured also looks slightly different, but overall height is same, the base dia is same, and it fits well. I tried it once, so I'm just gonna put it and we'll see how it goes. All right, see you in a bit. All right, after a few moments, the job is done. I put everything back together, and while I had the air filter box out and the MAP sensor out, I also cleaned up the hoses, and they look slightly cleaner than before, and everything is tightened back again, and battery is connected, everything's done. Give it a quick wipe down as usual. Can't take my eyes off it. Looks beautiful. There's a little bit of coolant spill there on the ground. I put a towel, and that I'll clean up once I'm done, but I think I'm ready to refill the coolant. I have it right here. We'll start up the car and bleed the cooling system, and at the same time we'll continue to monitor the temperature in the gauge inside and see how it goes. I hope this time I may not get the perfect results this time, but once I have bled the cooling system, I believe next time I try it and there's enough pressure, I close the cap on the coolant inlet, and there's enough pressure in the system, I hope the temperature will stay, because clearly this spring here has a big problem. I cannot even, with 2 fingers, I cannot even press. It's so hard. Okay, everything is set. I'll start up the car and turn on the heater, put the fan on 1, and start filling up coolant. Hopefully this works. All right, see you in a bit. All right guys, the system is bleeding. You can see the bubbles coming up. There's a lot of air trapped inside. It's all coming up. So I'll continue to do it for some time, and we'll monitor the temperature. See you in a bit. Alright people, we are very close to, or maybe almost at the optimal temperature. This is where it should stay, and there you can see I still see some bubbles, but they have gone down significantly. Next, what I expect is the volume of coolant should go up because it's open. The coolant gets heated and it'll go up a little bit. I have to let it cool down. It'll again come down a little bit, and eventually I'm gonna take that funnel off and lock the cap. But I'll see how the temperature does here after a few more minutes, and let's hope it stays here, and we'll check again in a bit. All right, you can see my temperature is stable right now. It's not going up no matter where how much I run it. It's been a while since it's been running, and if you look at the radiator, that funnel, coolant funnel, you can see there's smoke coming out of it. That means the coolant is hot. So yeah, I think I'm not getting any bubbles anymore, and I'm getting some smoke from there, which is probably evaporating coolant. So I think I'm good. The temperature is not going high anymore. So I'm gonna remove the funnel and again top up a little bit more and close the radiator cap and the coolant cap, and then we'll see under pressure if I'm able to maintain this temperature. Right now both the fans are running, the radiator fan as well as the AC fan, both are running, but the temperature looks really good. This is where it should stay. If you remember earlier when I showed, it was just climbing and then came down when I revved it up. I haven't revved it up yet, and I'll do one quick check is if the lower radiator hose is open or not. Okay, the lower hose still feels cool, so I think the thermostat has not opened yet because the fans are running already, and this is hot but not as hot as it was before because both the fans are running. I don't know, it has stopped giving me bubbles, so I think it's time to stop and then put on the cap and run it again and see if the thermostat opens without any problems. Alright, see you in a bit.